Members, that will take us to item number 182. Without objection, we will open the public hearing on item number 182, and I'll turn to the city clerk's office.
Thank you, Mayor. Adam Greenfield, Louis DeAngelis, Edgar Handel.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Adam Greenfield here with Safe Streets Austin, speaking on item 182 regarding the environmental investment plan. This is an important discussion, and thank you very much for bringing this forward. We need to really rapidly address the climate crisis in Austin, and this is how we do it with big ideas. I also want to thank Council members Fuentes, Velasquez, Ryan Alter, Ellis, and Alison Alter for supporting the Safe Streets Austin City Leap proposal for lane conversions on Austin's arterials to make space for buses and protected bike lanes. This is the kind of big thinking that really gets the public excited, and we've heard from a lot of people that this is the kind of action they want our city council to take. It's also the kind of action that some of our peers are taking, including, I don't know if you're following what's happening in Paris these days in France, but they are really acting upon these big ideas, and the public are re-electing the electeds there who are voting for this. I think it's time for the capital of Texas to join the capital of France in taking these big, bold leaps forward. So thank you very much. I just also want to add the financial piece of this. So when the city of Austin did a lane conversion over the Longhorn Dam from a 4 to 3 lane for shared use paths, it took 4 months to make back the cost of that project in comprehensive crash cost savings to society. You could argue that we can't afford not to do City Leap ATX. So thank you very much for your consideration.
Thank you.
Kayla Reese, Roy Whaley, Craig Nazer, Julian Reyes,
Hello, City Council, Craig Nazer. I'm the Conservation Chair of the State Chapter of the Sierra Club, President of Austin Environmental Democrats, an alternate on the Joint Sustainability Committee and on the Working Group for Natural Systems. First of all, I'd like to thank Ryan Alter for coming to Austin Environmental Democrats and talking to our group about this. This is a very important issue, and it's very nice when that gets out into the public. It's very nice for you to do that. The first thing is, and this is also Austin Environmental Democrats and Sierra Club, the elephant in the room on climate change is the Fayette power plant. Without closing the Fayette power plant, all this other stuff is pretty minor. And I know that's a tough problem, but I just want to say that's all the groups I work with, that's what I hear all the time. Okay. Second thing is, and there's something on the Joint Sustainability Commission recommendation, and this is because I'm also on the Zero Waste Advisory Commission. Austin Resource Recovery really needs a transfer station in North Austin. That's the only way we'll get electric trucks to work, and they're free from TCEQ right now. Those $700,000 trucks are free. They will work best if we have the transfer station. I would love to see you consider this as a top choice in what we're doing. One last thing. I think the PARD land management plan is not a good choice for this. And I'll tell you why. And I've sent a detailed email about this that I hope you all read. It's referring to scientific papers. I did a deep dive on this. I strongly believe that this is the wrong thing to do. And we opposed this back in August or September of last year. It's based on a false historical assumption of what the hill country looked like, and our areas to the west particularly. The selective thinning and fuel reduction does not take into account the succession as plants grow into a full climax forest, even though that's an oak juniper woodland that's only like 40 feet tall. It's not a rainforest, but it's a forest nonetheless. Fire moves more slowly through forest than through grassland. So you protect yourself from fire if you have healthy forests. Okay, prescribed fire. There's no historic evidence that fire moved through the hill country with any frequency, particularly the forest there. CO2 sequestration ability is damaged for years with controlled burns. They've proven that. I have the scientific paper in my backup.
Thank you, sir.
You can read the rest in there. Thank you very much.
Thank
It's
you.
a great thing in all overall.
Bobby Levinsky, Scott Johnson, Robert Bowler.
Afternoon, Council, and thanks for your patience. My name is Robert Bowler. I'm a D4 homeowner, a 12-year Austinite, and as long as I've been waiting today, I'm becoming a bigger fan of the 2-minute limit. I'm speaking in favor today of item 182, the Environmental Investment Plan. Based on the work of the Research Org Project Drawdown, I'd like to share some specific science-based recommendations on where to focus resources so they're most effective: food systems and transportation. For food systems, there's 3 key areas. There's high-emission proteins, food waste, and takeout packaging. They're consistently deemed the highest sources of both emissions and plastic garbage, so we need to incentivize consumers and businesses to lean into plant-rich offerings. We need to need major resources behind initiatives that prevent food waste, both at home and at restaurants. And we need to fund a circular economy in which the packaging for food for our takeout is not deemed disposable, but there is a system, a convenient way to reuse that. You can check out the company Deliver Zero for an example of this system. In the transit world, I would also like to recommend the City Leap initiative that was just announced by Safe Streets Austin. Transportation is Austin's biggest source of greenhouse emissions. It is not energy. It is how we get around. In a short, City Leap would dedicate on each of our major roadways 1 lane each way to either dedicated transit and emergency vehicles or protected cycling paths. Like any transit improvement, there are lots of good effects here on public safety, air quality, greenhouse emissions, equity, accessibility, effective use of road space, a bus that runs faster than the car traffic that it gets stuck in today. And for a real-life preview, Barton Springs Road just had a very successful pilot on this kind of road right-sizing. They saw less speeding and fewer crashes. You get more space for the pedicabs and scooters and bikes that Austin is known for and keep people healthier. More than 70% of people had public support for these changes, and it increased car travel times when you took out a lane a whopping 3 to 30 seconds. So that's basically no sacrifice in car experience when you give these lanes to public transit and to bikes. Achieving sustainability is going to be our generation's World War II, and we need that kind of level of investment in this, and I think we can keep doing this. Let's go. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.
I've called all the speakers for this item, Mayor.
Great, thank you very much. Members, that concludes all the public speakers on item number 182. So without objection, we will close the public hearing on item 182, and it will be coming back. We had a good discussion about this on Tuesday, and I'll recognize Councilmember Ryan Alter to close this out.
I just want to say one quick thing. I was fortunate enough this past weekend to spend some time with my family out at Lake Travis, and 2 things were abundantly clear to us. One, it was just unbearably hot, which is something we have seen come earlier and earlier every year. And second, just looking around, even with the rain we've had, the lake was alarmingly low, even for, especially for this time of year at the beginning of the summer. And, this is nothing new for anyone who experienced last summer or the summer before that or the summer before that. This is just a new trend, and the warning signs are staring us in the face. Our droughts are becoming deeper and longer, and every year it seems to be getting hotter and hotter. And so we can't sit idly by and pretend this is going to solve itself. We cause these problems, and we have the power to be the solution. That's why we launched the Environmental Investment Plan. why we ask the question, what will it take for our environmental goals to be more than just words on paper? It's why my office, Councilmember Fuentes, Velasquez, Councilmember Ellis, and Allison Alter are prioritizing the preservation of land and conservation of water, both of which we're not making any more of, and which we have a rich history in doing, none so than 25 years ago by our mayor, and we are so thankful today that we did. It's why we believe that we should invest in more trees, more solar, and reduce vehicle emissions and the devastating impacts of flooding. And I know these are priorities that we all share, and so I want to thank the Joint Sustainability Committee. I want to thank our staff for their diligent work on identifying actionable projects and programs, and now for the public, for those who stuck it out for all day to share their thoughts so that we can make the right priorities and the right investments going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. Members, that will now take us